Pick out the best. 2 words to describe the activity. The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime
News. A 24-hour news station.
Beautiful Friday morning here in Lagos. 9 hours 30 minutes gone already in the day, and November is 14 days old already as we count down to the end of the year. I can't wait for Christmas, and take some break from work and be with my family and all of that. But before we get there, let's rise and shine and do some things today. We'll kickstart with top stories making headlines on some of Nigerian newspapers. I have the Punch, just like always, the Nation, the Guardian, and the Vanguard for review this morning. I'm already joined live in our Lagos studio by Prince Adebola Adeniyi Adele Jr. He's the national president of Citizens Liberation Advocacy Initiative. It's a civil society organization, I believe, that is meant to educate and make voters aware more this season. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, we'll be talking much more about the distribution of the PVC cards, the continuous voter registration, what you need to know as a prospective voter in the 2015 general elections later on the show. But let's kickstart with some of the top stories making headlines on the Punch this morning. Presidency, APC reps push for Tambuwal, and the writer here says buy nomination form for speaker. That's on page 2 of the Punch. If I have the front page ready from the MCR, interesting front page picture here also shows Cameroonian soldiers patrolling a street in Amchide, a town in northern Cameroon, less than 1 kilometer from Nigeria, which was attacked by Boko Haram. And you see on the other side an armored personnel carrier belonging to the sect, which was burnt by the soldiers. To other stories quickly on the front page of the Punch this Friday morning. Falling oil prices, tougher times ahead, Okonjo-Iweala warns. You get details on page 33 of the Punch. Isn't it high time that Nigeria began looking to alternative sources of income apart from oil? All not well with Nigeria. Catholic bishops tell Jonathan. That's on page 9. We told you about that earlier on the show. Soldiers, hunters recaptured Mubi from Boko Haram. Page 9 of the Punch. Senate grills Army chief over losses to Boko Haram. Page 3 of the Punch. Naira faces devaluation as oil price now drops to $79. You get details of that on page 3 if you care to check. I couldn't pay my mother's rent as minister. That's not me, it's Ezekwesili. You get details of that on page 3. That's quite hard for any Nigerian to believe anyway. But let me start with you, Prince, with this interesting story that seems to make headlines with every newspaper this morning. APC reps push for Tambuwal. Earlier, the insinuation was that Mr. Speaker would be running for governorship in Sokoto State. But now, some people already bought nomination form for Mr. Speaker to run for presidency. What are your thoughts along this line?
When I read it this morning, I was not even surprised because I know they are playing politics within each other. And sometimes they were looking at themselves that they are the owner of this country. And if you look at it very clear, immediately you are 18 years of age, you are a stakeholder in this country. So if you see the movements of APC, you can see very clear that there are some people who are interested in Tambuwal to become the president of this country.
But does it not amaze you that as we speak now, APC already has 5 presidential aspirants?
That's the beauty of democracy. That's the beauty.
Do you see this party remaining one after all of this?
Well, it has been happened before, and this 2015 will not be the first and the last. So it showed that we wanted to see the tolerance, how they can accommodate themselves, if not because they are going there for their selfish interest. If it is truly they wanted to serve us. So all of them will come together, okay? By coming together, they will choose one out of them. And they will choose the best, because we have told them in the newspaper we put that all the party people should remove or give us the best of their candidates before come and present it to the electorate.
Well, given the characteristics of an average politician, you look at the caliber of the candidates in APC. These are people who have been trying for a long time. Many of them might even see this as their last opportunity to try.
See, two things I want those political parties, not only APC alone, all the political parties, two things I want them to look at. Should look at their age, look at their time, and also look at the experience they have before they can put anybody on board. I can see, you see, they are pulling up to remove Tambuwa there. Is it possible? Where are they going to get the two talk there? It's going to be very difficult. So it is a matter of urgency for us to see that democracy is now striving now. We are calling it nursing before. It's a nursing democracy. Now it's getting out of nursing democracy. But we are now seeing how it plays now.
It's all right. Let's quickly move away from there to find out details of top stories on the Nation newspaper today. Run for president. 80 reps associates tell Tambuwa Majulo Muwe. That's how they say in the local palace there. Just keep dancing. I mean, we're behind you. The writer here says, Speaker to receive APC's form today. And then other stories now on the front page of the Nation. Ekiti Tribunal ends trial. Court to get addresses December 17, page 9 of the Nation. Alaafin, I'm not against Ajimobi, page 8. Keshi expressed hostile Congo, that's on page 41. And NDIC pays 6.82 billion naira to depositors. Hunters liberate Mubi from Boko Haram fighters. Governor attributes it to all to God, and troops head for commercial town. You get all of those details on the Nation. Now, there are some exciting stories that broke earlier this week, Prince, and it has to do with the success that Nigeria is experiencing now, especially in Adamawa State, in certain towns there that have been captured by the Boko Haram sect. But interesting part of it is the involvement of civilians in all of this. You begin to hear local hunters, vigilante groups who came out all out to fight the terrorists.
See, that is why I want them to make use of the confab that they did just recently now. If people are looking for state police, this is part of it. That you cannot oversee all by federal government. But the state police, we know who entered yesterday. I'm telling you, where I resided, mostly all the streets around that area that I know. If you wake me up, it's also street. I know some person that is staying there. But by having it now, it is important now to have the state police. That is what we require all this, what we are talking about today.
What exactly are the political interests? Because this issue has been on the front burner for a long time. There are certain sects of people that just do not want to hear state police.
So that is if they don't want it, that is what we are saying now. And I'm just looking at the PDP to tell them, because they are the one that's governing us now. If they are going to attack anybody on Boko Haram, they will attack the PDP people, because they are the one that is ruling now. So if the politician people also see that they can either want to campaign, but these people that cannot quiet or remove or settled or come back to have a security outfit, that they should not put them in power. But we are not in the position to say that. In other words, the best bet we want us to do is there's no way we are going to do it. You see Lagos State now. They have OPC here. Some other vigilantes are here. And likewise, there's other one they are putting on these jeans, white, green uniforms. They are doing a lot to make things cool, good in Lagos State.
It's all right. Well, let's move away from there now and find out what the top stories are today on the front page of The Guardian. The Guardian, why we lost Mubi, others to insurgents by military. The writers here says Catholic bishops at Aso Rock over terrorism, alleged plans by Boko Haram to Islamize Nigeria. Arewa leaders say troops have failed. want government to deploy reserve forces. And APC now confused with Jonathan's declaration, says PDP. Get details of that on page 3 of The Guardian. Health workers strike grounds hospitals in Lagos, Kano, and Cross River ad hoc ward delegates resort doctored in Abuja, says party scribe. It's 214 days after the abduction of over 200 Nigerian girls in Chibok, Borno State. And Tambuwa joins presidential race. It's one story buzzing on every newspaper that you lay your hand on today. Interesting indeed, if you ask me. But Prince, let's just quickly touch on the involvement of religious leaders, especially in the fight against terrorism. Some also came up recently in Adamawa to say that in order to fight insurgency headlong in Nigeria, that there needs to be a postponement of political activities. Do you see that happening at all at this time?
Well, I don't think so. The Boko Haram is not started yesterday, not today. He has been there for a very long time, but all to us saying that all is well. But it is those that has happened in their premises, in their compound, in their area, in their local government. We know that all is not well. So by having those religious people, I saw them on TV yesterday.
Okay.
But the only little I want them to do or to say is that we should cooperate with the government so that each individual, what we are looking for now is formation. In your vicinity where you see something that is funny, call police. Let the number of police be around of everybody, so that individual cannot tackle this. We have some soldiers, the Nigerian soldiers. If any central point that they can use so that we can meet them or to give them information of what we are seeing in our area, I think that should be the best way.
It's all right. Well, our final point of view this morning is on Vanguard. An interesting picture. If you check the Vanguard this morning, and it shows what is tagged the world wonders. The front page picture of The Guardian shows the man by the name Chandra Bahadur Dangi. Is from Nepal. And I wish we have the picture on the screen right now. It's the shortest adult to have ever been verified by the Guinness World Records. And he poses in this picture with the world's tallest man, Sultan Kosen from Turkey. Quite interesting there during a photo call in London yesterday to mark Guinness World Records Day. Chandra Dangi measures a tiny 21.5 inches, that's about 0.54 meters, and the same height as 6 stacked cans of beans. Are you kidding me? And Sultan Kosen measures 8 feet 3 inches, that's about 2.51 meters. Wow, interesting picture. And quite hilarious there. Army admits loss of territories to Boko Haram. The writers here says captured territories will soon be reclaimed. Nigerians getting irritated with the federal government, says the Senate. And troops, local militia recapture Mubi, says Ngilari. Ijo threatens. Jonathan calls off EPZ commissioning, page 12 of the Vanguard. And falling oil prices expect impact from this month. Okonjo-Iweala warns, page 8 of the Vanguard. APC presidential ticket, Tambuwa alters permutation. That's page 9 of the Vanguard. And patients lament as health workers again begin strike. All right, on the back page of the Vanguard for some sports stories, Keshi, Congolese will be hostile. That's on page 59. And Red Devils will frustrate Eagles. Mikel fit for Devils showdown on page 59. Many have asked what Mikel is still doing on that team, if indeed he is making any positive impact whatsoever. But you might have a different opinion. Iyama, they ran from me because of Ebola. That's on page 59. And Pele stable after operation. Check details of all of that on page 59 if you care to check. Now, let me quickly take you up on certain stories breaking in the past few days, Prince, because the continuous Voter registration is ongoing now, I believe, between 12 and 18th of this month in about 11 to 12 states of the Federation.
For those who have not registered before, Tom.
For those who have not registered before. But you are a resident of Lagos, I believe,
Yeah,
and you were here during the third phase of the exercise, the PVC distribution exercise.
Yeah.
How do you see it? What are your reactions to that particular exercise?
Well, let me honestly tell you this morning. The first day we had the news that the PVC will begin to be distributed on the 7th of November to 9th of November. We're so happy because the beginning of the success of election begin from the credible and good voters card. But to my surprise, which we are not going to take it very lightly, that that day of that 7th of November 2014, as I'm speaking to you this morning, I touched not less than 354 polling units that on my care, my jurisdiction, my area, I did not see a single ad hoc staff of INEC.
You mean on the 7th of November?
That's the first beginning, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I called some people I needs to call that this is the beginning of rigging. I'm telling you that you are supposed to have finished, make arrangement of this before you tell Nigerians that your PVT card will come out on so day. That's number one. Number two, we now take it from them. Around 6 o'clock of that day, they came, they pasted those names who have been registered before.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, they cannot do anything of collecting cards that day. But it is on the second day they begin to share the PVC card. But to my surprise again, a lot of people that their numbers are there, their names are there, but they cannot find their PVC card. That's why we are not going to take it very lightly with INEC.
But then INEC also talked about extending this particular exercise on Monday, which I believe was the 10th of November, by 24 hours. How did that work out?
In fact, if you can be able to see what I see now,
Okay.
because that is what we deal on. That is what we do as our exercise.
Okay.
We go out since Monday, come and see how people are trooping out. And the central point is not at the same place. I think they shook it and put them in so area to go and register there.
Okay.
Oh, it's too much. It's very much.
So what's the present situation like now? Would you say that certain people have not really collected?
We are still going to have a World Press Conference about it.
Okay.
And we wanted to see, under our registration from our NGO, we will know how many members and little people who have not collected their voters card.
Okay.
And I want INEC to know that they are the one that oversee the election in this country. I don't want them to see it as we have done our own,
Okay.
they remain left for the politicians.
Okay.
No, what we needed now is to do is we are looking for good governance. We are looking for good candidates. It is then determined that it is we who will determine who we want. But when the person wanted to determine the future of himself, he did not have voters card. How can you do that? So that is where we want, that we are telling INEC that we want everybody that is beginning of 18 years to have this voters card.
There are explanations, quite a number of them, from INEC body as regards the logistic challenge that they had, bringing those items from Abuja and some other issues like that. But beyond all of that, there was also the story from the opposition party as regards PDP conniving with INEC to rig Lagos by that event. Would you subscribe to that position?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I am an optimistic person, and I'm not standing on whatever hearsay. The Electoral Commissioner of Lagos State is my person. It's a person that I know very well. I know his integrity. I know him. Ogumola can never do that. Likewise, the Jaga can never follow anybody to do such things. But the only concern I still have is that, did you know that there are some names out of this card here some name came out 4 or 5 times. It shocked me.
Even on the PVCs?
I'm telling you.
You mean there are certain people now who have more than one?
One. Not that the person registered twice or thrice. When they are printing it, they print 4 copies for one person. One PVC. The same name, 4 different types. I was shocked. Because what we are saying is that one voter's card must be for somebody, for one person. And as you see it now, the 3-1 that he has mortgaged some people who are supposed to have. Their name will be there, but it will not come out. Then how can you verify that? If anybody, I just wanted to advise them now, if anybody have their voter's card, which is the preliminary one, the former one we are using,
okay,
that should go to his local government. There's a form they are going to give to him to fill, to sign. And I think that should be the best way.
There were also issues as regards a sharp reduction in figures in, in certain states. For instance, in Lagos, the 2011 registration was about 6.1 million.
No, it's 6.2.
6.2. Yeah. And INEC talked about 4.8 million PVCs being ready.
But I told you now that my dear brother, the Residential Commissioner of Lagos State, said they are not doing that. They are still going to give them. I think they produced 4.8 now. Okay. So we are waiting for 1.8 or 1.5 about. So he said they are not shortlist them as the newspaper are carrying it, but they are still going to release it out. You know, they cancel some local government.
That's right.
There are some local government they not even share these PVCs to. So it is when you have belief in somebody that you will now see that whenever he tells you should be the truth. So 4.8, yes, and we are still waiting for 1.5, that less out of 6.2 million.
Beyond all of this now, the big question is the continuous voters registration is on now. Yeah. It started on the 12th of this month.
Yeah, for those who have not have it at all.
Who have not even registered before.
At all, yeah.
And it will also be until the 18th of this month. But how would you describe this exercise for the past 4 days?
It is enormous. And it is shocked that in Lagos State today, we have 8,645 polling units. Okay. And when you divide it to each of the local governments, it's not enough. Talk less that you now merge them, you might carry, I think what ANEC is doing now is that to merge almost 4, 5, 7 polling units together in a center, in a place, which is not good well. Let me tell you, the only thing that people who are not aware of, and that should be our job, for them to aware, to know, and that one will give them the strength to know more better, is that if you ask anybody now, you have your PVC, you say yes, where do you normally vote? I do normally vote, it's one school. What is needed to firstly know is your polling units. Okay. It was written there. So it's like somebody who is going somewhere, I missed road. When you missed road, until when you ask somebody, well, you can come back and say, okay, the address they give to me, this means that my own, let me use my own as an example. Federal government or of the INEC have their own code, which is, they call it PIV polling units, / the central where it's coming to, which is 007. Show clearly that maybe it is Lagos. Under Lagos, where are you going? Ikeja. Okay. You see what I'm saying now? I do not have my own. So at the tail end of it, you will see it that 046. You can't lost.
The number of your polling unit is clearly stated on the card. But don't you think there's something fundamentally wrong there? The fact that, of course, this is a fingerprint-based process where we're looking at a card that has a chip that carries all your information as a person. Don't you think something is wrong with the fact that the place to vote is restricted to a particular polling unit? One would have thought that since it is a permanent voter card, I can as well vote anywhere, since this thing is a fingerprint-based process.
That is part of things we are going to make INEC to understand. Okay? God bless you for that question. Some people are living in Lagos last year.
Who have relocated?
Register in Lagos.
You can probably come from Kano to Lagos to vote on election.
So that is area we need, INEC need Nigerians to stay together. There's a way we can get it out here. I said somebody that before we line up in the bank to collect money, some people even go there with mats. But now you can slot
ATM cards.
You can trust the ATM card
wherever you are.
Whatever. Papa, your money is out here. And I said, look, we can do it. How? There is a way, what we are planning now, that as you said, if you just carry your card, I was registered with computer now, for God's sake. Why am I going to do accreditation by lining up? Has no meaning to me. Take down your card, so far all necessary document is there. We just need only one police. Okay. And one ad hoc staff of INEC.
It's all right. Let me just open the phone lines for interested viewers who would want to participate on the show today. The phone line will pop up on your screen in a moment from now. When you call that line, endeavor that your TV at home is muted, okay? So that we can do without the feedback distortion. And the moment your call is acknowledged, just go ahead with your contribution. I believe you have just 1 minute to do that. We'll love to know where you're calling from, your name, where you're calling from. We'll also love to know how far you've gone with registering, and if in case you have your PVC and you are ready for the 2015 election. Prince, you talked about your role as a, what's it called now?
Citizens Liberation.
A civil society organization to sensitize the people.
Yeah.
But how well do you think the political parties are fed in educating their members and even the Nigerian populace as regards all of this?
See, there's no political party we enlighten more than an independent body. No.
Okay. But do they have the responsibility to do that?
They have. What they have to do is to come out to tell us what they wanted to do to us or for us, which is the ideology.
Okay.
Today, all the political parties have the same ideology. And there's no one they are going to sensitize Nigerians or electorate will be telling you that their party is the best. So generally, we are now leaving the educating electorate to the hands of those people who are not joining any political party. So they can't go around and talk to any political party anyhow they want. So, but now, the electorate has a very good power. I tell somebody that the day we wanted to choose a leader should be the day we should be a happier person. That day should be our happier person. That because that is the day we wanted. If one is doing you and is not doing fine, you choose another person. That today we are going to have another leader. Should be the day we should want to happy. So as it is now, that is our job. We want people to see that not until when they ask you to come and vote before you know what is there. And the time, I said without number, and that is what we are doing. The time of voting for the logo or the emblem of the political party is gone.
How do you mean?
Oh my goodness. The time that, because it is an umbrella or because it's a broom, it's gone. We are looking for the credible person who can come out from any other this political party we are talking about.
Okay.
Forget that there's one person is ruining this place and one man is ruining this place. That one, let them count it out now. We are suffering enough. 16 good years.
It's all right. We'll get back to all of that to find out how people can know genuine leadership and find out what trait of leadership the particular candidate has. But we're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we'll take your calls and find out more about you, where you live, and what challenges you're facing as regards collecting your PVC. And if you are really interested at all in all of this, please stick around all the way.
Glad glad to have you join us on
Another edition of The Political Arena.
The most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Until the end of our time, I'm the legitimate authority to govern this country.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on QTV News.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. It's Core Digest Friday, exclusive to Core TV News. Thank you very much for staying around. We're going to open the phone lines for you to participate on the show today as we discuss state of the nation ahead the 2015 general elections. Our focus on this segment has been on the ongoing, what they call the continuous voter registration, the last phase in INEC's program of ensuring that people get registered and they have access to their permanent voter cards. Now, in case you don't know, if you do not have your PVC, you cannot vote in 2015, even if you do have a temporary voter card. So we have a caller now. Good morning, Israel. How are you today?
Hello?
Israel, are you there?
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead, Israel. We're with you.
Okay, good morning. I'm calling from Abia State.
All right.
Okay. I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question. And my question is this. My registration. I make my registration, my voting registration in Abia State.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
That's right. Yes.
Yes. Now I'm in Cross River State. And I'm working in Cross River State. So how is it going to be possible for me to leave Cross River State and come to Abia State to do the voting? Because
where will you be?
That it is where I make the registration, is where I will vote.
Okay, where will you be during the election?
How would that be possible?
Where will you be during the elections, Israel?
Okay, during the registration, I will be in Cross River State.
Okay, during election, you will be in Cross River State. It's all right. I think we got that. Just hang up and allow him to answer your question. I understand that there's a relocation form or something that you can collect from the INEC.
In fact, he's very lucky that he was in Cross River State.
Okay.
That our big brother is there, Michael Guinea, who is a residential electoral commissioner. Go to the local governments around that area, or you go to the INEC themselves, they will give you a form to fill.
Okay.
We call it relocate. So you will just fill that form, and that's it.
Yeah, okay, you just get a form, a relocation form, and fill
bring the one that you have before, take it to them, and they will fill that form for you.
But I'm sure that they'll give him another PVC.
Of course.
And that's where the challenge lies.
Of course.
It's all right. We're just going to take another call before we wrap up this segment. But I'm also of the opinion that INEC still needs to improve on this, because the challenge of printing another PVC, I foresee that might take another time, a long period of time, to manufacture another one entirely for someone who already collected.
Well, my surprise also again is that I don't know why we have local governments. I don't know. In the federal, they did not recognize it. They might see it, but they don't use them. But when they wanted to use them for people in downtrodden, they don't, I don't know. That is the area they should use it to channel all these things. And even the local government could be able to be printing their...
Let me just hold you for a minute to take this call. Good morning, Tochukwu. Hello, good morning. Tochukwu, are you there? Okay, I'm afraid we lost that. We're just going to take one more call. I'm expecting to receive one more call before I let Prince go on the show today, because I know that quite enough people are calling. We apologize for the poor reception that we have today, but we'd definitely love to hear from you. What exactly do you say the role of the local government is?
It should be the one to distribute this. It is one that nearer to these people. You cannot stay in Abuja, or you are in Lagos, in central Lagos, you said you are going to... Let it be. That's why the local governments are there. Look at the sensible enough of Lagos State. They decentralize it to the local development areas. So more closer again. So to get it, you're not going to be much difficult, because they are very, very close. You get what I'm saying now? So it's a matter of, in that vicinity, how many people are registered there, and you bring it there, they will collect it without hitch.
What's the importance that everyone should be actively involved in this process?
Everybody in this process. Everybody. Everybody. Don't think, you see, and that is, there are some Nigerians.
Just before you answer that, we have Christopher online.
Okay.
Good morning, Christopher.
All right.
Hello, good morning.
What? Good morning, please.
Let's go ahead.
I'm fine. One of my question is this. My question is that for those of us, for some of us here in Makodi, most of the polling units, they are not distributed, so we don't know what is happening.
They did not distribute it.
They are not distributing the voters' registration cards from the polling units. I want to go to where? I don't know.
Well, I believe that you have to try to approach INEC office in your local government, and you'll be able to settle all of that. I'm sure you want to add something to that.
It might be that. It might be not that. Before they came to Lagos, they were giving time to us that they are coming to Lagos.
Okay.
They are not distributed randomly.
Okay.
Probably maybe they have not yet give a specific day for the Makodi.
Okay.
So there's no doubt about that.
Okay.
So, you know, they do Edo, Ogun, Lagos, and some not at the same time. So probably Makodi have not been among of the one they wanted to do.
Prince Adebola Adeniyi Adele Jr. is the national president of Citizens Liberation Advocacy Initiative, and it is an organization that has the responsibility of educating and, of course, making voters aware this season. Thank you very much for finding time to join us.
Thanks for the opportunity given to me.
It is important that you know that you have the right to approach INEC in your local government. We spoke earlier with the REC, who says that INEC has an office in all the 774 local government areas of Nigeria. Now, you indeed have the right to approach these offices to collect your PVC, even if you do not come to your polling units. We'll take a break now, and we'll be back with more on Core Digest Friday. Don't go away.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best. 2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live.
I wish you
as the news spreads. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime
News, 24-hour news station.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.